Hey guys, welcome back to the movie summary. Beginning of the movie, we see a girl named Sylvia. She works in a company that manufactures men's undergarments. That night, while Sylvia is sleeping, her father calls Sylvia to open the door. But Sylvia doesn't open the door because her mother Carmen tells her not to let her in if dad comes home. When the door is not opened, Sylvia's father gets angry and breaks all the things there and stays out all night. In the morning, Carmen comes home. Seeing Sylvia's father, she scolds him. Actually, there were many fights between Sylvia's mother and father. Sylvia's father used to beat her mother a lot, so Carmen leaves everything and takes Sylvia and her two sisters and lives in another town. In the next scene, we see Sylvia with a boy named Louis. Both of them are in a relationship. Louis is the son of the owner of the company where Sylvia works. After a while, Sylvia unconscious and falls down. When she wakes up, she tells Louise that now I am pregnant and I want to abort this baby. Then Louis says, why does get an abortion, you and I, let's start a new life for our baby. And also he says that I will talk to my parents about our marriage soon. After that she goes to home. When Sylvia comes home, she tells Carmen about her pregnancy and that Louis has promised to marry her. Hearing this, Carmen wonders if they will get married or not. Because Louis is the son of the owner of that company. Sylvia is a worker in that company. Carmen says to Sylvia that Luis's mother Conchita doesn't even speak to the poor and how she will give a permission to marry her son to you. Then Sylvia tells Carmen that there is going to be a party soon. And Luis said that he will tell his parents about our love and marriage. Then she also gets a little happy. In the next scene, Louis goes to a club with his friends. Carmen works in the same club. Then Louis tells her that he wants to marry Sylvia. Then Carmen asks if your mother agrees to the marriage. Louis says don't stress yourself, I can convince her. One day during a party, Louis takes Sylvia to introduce her to his mom. Then Louis's father Diego is talking to a girl. Then Conchita scolds the girl saying, who is your dad talking with? Then Sylvia says she is not someone but my mother and leaves in anger. Louis also goes behind Sylvia and tries to cool her down. Then Sylvia says my dad left us when I was 13. From then my mother was the only one working in the club and take care all of us. Hearing this, Louis tells Sylvia that you don't have to worry, I will take care of everything, just give me some time. Sylvia says okay to that. Sylvia is very sad when she comes home. Carmen then asks what happened. Sylvia tells Carmen that Louis has not yet told her parents about our marriage. Then Carmen says don't worry, everything will be fine. On the other hand, Conchita says to Diego is our son dating with Sylvia? And that we should stay away from her. Diego did not respond to that. When Louis comes home, Conchita says you can't marry Sylvia. But Louis doesn't listen and says I will only marry Sylvia. When Louis doesn't listen, Conchita goes to Raul, a model who works in her company. And says that you have to pretend to have an affair with Sylvia and I will pay you a lot of money for that. Raul also says okay to that. Conchita's plan is that if Louis finds out about their affair, he will easily leave Sylvia. That night, Raul leaves a pig on the road outside Sylvia's house. Sylvia hears the pig screaming and comes out to save it. Then Raul also comes there and together they save the pig. She gives Raul a beer for helping her. Then Raul goes into the room with Sylvia and asks if we should make out. Then she says I already have a boyfriend. Hearing this, he praises her beauty and goes away. Next day morning, Sylvia is on her way home after getting groceries. Raul approaches her and flirts with her. Then Sylvia ignores him and leaves. That night Sylvia and Louis go to a party. While Sylvia is dancing there, she sees Raul. Seeing him, Sylvia gets upset and goes to the washroom. Raul also comes there and kisses Sylvia, then Sylvia hits him. Raul says I like you a lot and leaves from there. After coming out, Sylvia gets into a fight with Louis. She asks I am pregnant now and when we will get married. Then Louis says me and my friend told my dad about a business plan. If it's successful, so let's get married. And also we will not have to worry about money. The next day, Louis and his friend tells his dad about their business idea. It is dog's undergarment. Hearing this, Louis's father rejects the idea. Later Louis goes into the club where Carmen works. There he asks Carmen to come spend time with me. Carmen also says okay to that. Later they both go into a room and make private time together. Now we know that Carmen and Luis had an affair. In the next scene, Raul along with his friend are fighting naked with a bull in a stranger's house. Seeing them, the stranger brings a gun and tries to shoot them. Then they run to Sylvia's house. Then Sylvia gives them 2 towels. Raul flirts her again. Sylvia then tells them to leave the house. After going out, Raul tells Sylvia I like you a lot. Sylvia smiles at him. From now Sylvia also likes Raul. Next day Conchita meets Raul. Then Raul says to Conchita I really like Sylvia. While they are talking, Conchita seduces Raul. Later they both make private time together. Conchita gives Raul a bike as a gift for satisfying him. Luis on the other hand talks to his father about Sylvia. Then Luis's father tells Sylvia is a good girl and you should marry her. In the next scene, while Sylvia is going to the market, Raul brings his new bike and says let's go for a ride with her. Sylvia says I will not come. Then Raul is doing stunts with his bike in front of Sylvia's house. The Sylvia sisters are also there and their piglet suddenly goes up the road. Then Raul has an accident with the pig and falls down. Soon Sylvia comes to Raul. Now Sylvia loves Raul. So the next day Sylvia meets Luis and tells him about the breakup. On hearing this, Luis gets very angry and scolds her and leaves. Later, Sylvia gets drenched in the rain and approaches Raul, hugs him and proposes. Luis watches all this from the sidelines and then he goes home sad. At home, Conchita asks Luis what happened as if she doesn't know anything. Then Luis tells his mom what happened before. That night Conchita goes to meet Raul at his house, where Sylvia and Raul spend private time. After a while Luis also comes there. There he tells his mother that I am the father of the baby in Sylvia's womb. It will be a bit of a shock to hear this. After a while, Raul drops Sylvia near her house and leaves. Conchita then goes to Sylvia and says that, now you have Luis' baby in your womb. It is not right to leave Luis like this. Mourning Conchita tells with Raul that the work I gave you is done. You don't meet Sylvia from now on. Hearing this Raul says I love Sylvia, I will definitely meet her. Conchita then says that if you leave Sylvia and come with me, I will give you a Benz car as a gift. Hearing this, Raul agrees to Conchita's offer. Luis is distraught and he goes to Carmen and says let's make out. Carmen does not agree to that. Then Luis gets even more angry and goes to Raul's house to kill him. On the other hand, Sylvia fearing that Luis will kill Raul and comes to Luis's father and tells everything that happened. Then Luis's father kisses Sylvia. Actually Luis's father also likes Sylvia. In the next scene, Luis goes to Raul's house where her mother making private time with him. Seeing this, Luis gets angry and fights with Raul, and they both beat each other up. In the end Raul accidentally kills Luis. Then Luis's father Sylvia comes there. Luis's mother Conchita also comes and cries a lot. This how this movie ends.